Hey, folks, what's going on? Welcome to a basically Hollywood-free Tales from the Film Set. I call it Hollywood-free because right now there's nothing really going on in Hollywood for the most part. So instead of Tales from the Film Set, this is basically just Tales from wherever the hell we happen to be. I'm Scott. That's Day. That's
Wait,
Ryan.
I'll pause you.
What's that?
It's 2 Chain Day, man. 2 Chain.
And I'm Captain Whitebread.
Why you have to say that?
Dude, that was my nickname at a job like 25 years ago.
I'm just tired of all Dave's nicknames. You can't tell him what he is. He's got to come up with everything.
So 2 Chain Day, huh?
Yep, 2 Chain Day, ladies and gentlemen.
And why are you 2 Chain Day instead of like 1 chain, 3 chain, or no chain?
Because
I mean, technically they're not chains.
hey, that's me.
I don't know, someone's dryer.
Yeah. My wife waits till the last minute to constantly do this stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
Two,
go ahead anyway.
Sorry, 2 gold medals, number 1, baby, at the New York Comic-Con tournament. First tournament was, if I could get the lighting, if you can see it, ladies and gentlemen, Taifeng.
Taofeng.
Yeah, Taifeng.
Taifeng.
First place, baby. First time playing that game.
Okay.
Yay.
Kicking people's butts and taking messages. Taking that off. The last one.
So wait, what is Taifeng?
Huh? It's like a fighting game that
What is Taifeng?
That's what I'm saying. It's a fighting game. That basically is like martial art driven. But the interesting part about that game is when you hit directly at a certain point and break it, your opponent has to fight while they have damage, internal bleeding, broken limb, broken ribs. So they're slouching up and still trying to do their martial arts while trying to protect their injured self.
Mm-hmm.
So all that is an effect.
So it's like Mortal Kombat if they were really focusing on the blocking.
Correct. But there's no fatalities.
So it's not real combat, it's mortal blocking.
Correct.
Okay. So you just hit the R button?
Nah.
You hit the block button?
Nah. I just basically went in like, I was just hitting combos and people in the forehead, elbowing.
He's going in like Logan Paul against somebody who was talking bad about his girl.
Facts. And this, I would like to thank my uncle for showing me this video game when I was young and giving me into the influence of playing this video game. And that's how I won this game. Bloody Roar, ladies and gentlemen. First place. Thank you, Uncle.
Dinosaur one?
Huh?
What dinosaur one?
No, Bloody War, the one where he transforms into animal humanoids. Like the humans are transforming into.
I'm thinking Primal Rage.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, this one right here brings back memories. Thank you, Uncle, for teaching me how to play that game. And number 1, baby, number 1 for this and number 1 for that. So nice. I came home with the girl for Tell from the Film Set.
Yay! So now what? So what's next? What's next for you, champion?
Huh?
What's next for you, champ?
What's next is we're going to talk about New York Comic-Con.
Okay, we can talk about New York Comic-Con.
Let's get into that while we got you here.
All right, so the first panel that I introduced to Scott. Well, overall, New York Comic-Con this year was more wholesome. Like, not wholesome, but more, you can basically come to the people that's basically facilitating and working the event. This time, everything was like, it was really not chaotic as much. And I think it has a lot to do with the actor strike and the writer strike. But since the writer strike is over, it's more due to the actors because they're not allowed to reveal certain things. A lot of productions and stuff wasn't out there to advertise as much. So it was a little.
That and also San Diego Comic-Con where like all the big movie production companies were not there this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like there really wasn't a Marvel or MCU presence, a Paramount presence, a Warner Brothers presence.
It was
Like
from,
it was a
from
Paramount presence, but it was sorry. It wasn't as strong. So when I say it wasn't as strong, like how you'll have the comic book based movies or TV shows that they have so much room to the point that they have it outside. It wasn't like that this year.
Well, I mean, in this case, from my understanding, it was actually very, very heavily anime focused.
Yeah, it was very.
A lot of it being the fact that there was just simply there was nothing really going on in the movie world because nobody could talk about anything. So one of the big highlights that, of course, came out was a new-ish Dragon Ball series that, frankly, the fans kind of don't give a crap about.
Which
Dragon Ball fans are pretty mid on this.
No, it's Dragon Ball
Daima, which is Japanese for Great Evil.
Which it was a good intro.
No, it's
huh?
Call it what it is.
Huh? What'd you say? All right.
Call it what it is. It's GT again.
No.
Yeah, it's GT again.
You really think so?
Here's the thing. The belief right now from inside the Dragon Ball circles is that they went back to a kid because it's now the 40-year anniversary of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball originated in 1983. So they're looking to bring him back to the same age he was back then, and apparently the same strength he was back then too. But a lot of the fans right now really don't want this. They're really more interested in seeing what happens, after Super. They don't want to see this kind of a reboot. They want to see, increased power levels. They want to see fan service like Dragon Ball Heroes. This is going to hurt.
You want to see Alter Ego?
Yeah. Yeah, they want to see the next step past the Dragon Ball Z, we'll call it arc. So this one here where they're reverted back to kids, him, Piccolo, Vegeta, Supreme Kai. A lot of the fans are kind of like, okay, we've been there, we've done that, we don't care. Move on to something more interesting to us.
I don't.
It's like, what if Muppet Babies was over 9,000?
Dude, it's like, it's like one of those things where if you did Muppet Babies and then you decided to reboot the whole thing with general interest, what's the next step? It's like, we're going to re-Muppet Baby the whole thing.
But I would say this.
Baby Gonzo just like shooting beams out of his nose or something,
Hi, Kermit the Frog here. Today I'm going to do a Kamehameha. Kamehameha begins with the letter K. Anyway, I'm done.
But you know what I noticed is now it is voice actor driven now with this Comic-Con thing. So, but it was interesting because you didn't see Vegeta as a kid or anybody else. You just saw Goku become a kid, and that was it. Now they bring it in Goku and Vegeta as kids. So it's probably a little bit of a new take, but in a different way.
Well, I mean, they do have them in this case. So it is definitely a thing in this regard. But again, fans don't care because it's like, we've seen this. We want to see what the next stage is going to be. There's a bunch of universes out there. Some
or Trunks doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, there's a multitude of universes out there. What's the plan for the Grand Priest? What is he up to? There's a lot of things that the fans are like, we want answers to that. We don't want this. And as a result, it's kind of disappointing that this was that. I mean, credit to Masako Nozawa, the voice of Goku, for now 40 years, because she's 86 years old and she's still going.
Yeah,
the fact that she made it from Japan to New York at 86 years old to do this, it's like, dude, nice. But at this point, we're kind of like, fine. Dude, the fan mangas are so much better. Kakume, Multiverse, Shadow is a new one that just came out. Dragon Ball Shadow they're working on. Fans would rather read that than see this. And that's a bad sign for the franchise.
Right. And also at the panel, they gave us this.
Oh, kawaii.
And a shirt saying, ugh, 30. Oh, got a nice heart in the back. This.
Dragon Ball.
wait. Dragon Ball.
Special
really
panel.
pushing Kid Goku, aren't they?
Yeah.
And yeah, they're really pushing it Goku.
It just looks like a chibi fan art. It really does. Like something you'll find on Pinterest.
And I asked them, did they have extra
Yeah, but
shirts?
the head's too small to be chibi. That's the problem.
But you know what? I think they're focusing more on the games because I
Mhm.
saw a lot of Bankai people that was there and that working on the games.
Okay.
And they're trying to focus on those, like Sandland, which is a new concept, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess obviously if you can't get celebrities to come out to talk about whatever movies are upcoming, what's the next best thing? Anything non-union, voice work, video games, things like that. Comics, manga.
Now, here's the counter with this. As me and somebody was talking at the Good Burger panel. The reason why Kel and Keenan came, because they weren't necessary actors, they were also producers of Good Burger.
That's how they got around it. Oh, smart. Oh, that's clever.
So they're not talking about a film that they are acting in. They're talking about a film that they've
produced. Yeah.
And you got good. Didn't you get merch from that too?
Yes. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. So they gave us this nice Paramount bag, which is so lovely.
Oh, that's Paramount present.
Thank you, Paramount, for this lovely bag at the Good Burger panel.
But you got something Good Burger, didn't you? It says Good Burger.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna whip it out.
I was gonna say I saw the picture that you sent me.
So I have an apron. It tells me I'm an assistant manager.
Yep.
Oh,
that's cool. Too bad you couldn't.
Yeah,
too bad you couldn't get them to sign that.
Yeah. No, I got something better. I talked to Keenan's casting manager or his production manager. So I gave him my business card and everything, like you're supposed to. And we'll see. Ryan, I saw that.
Ryan.
No, Ryan. Ryan, let me finish.
Please,
let me finish.
Tell us more about the great and wonderful world of Comic-Con. Go on.
Okay, Ryan. Regardless of what I do, guess what? Tales from the film set is all in my circle. So whatever happens, you're definitely getting a piece of the pie. And that's everybody that's in my circle. Okay? So don't feel like, oh my God, you're able to do this. Let me tell you why I do this. I'm not doing it just for me. I'm doing for the people that's in my circle to help them get to whatever. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I know this person. Here you go. Oh, I know that person. Here you go. That's the way we should be connecting. What? What?
It's perfectly fine. All right. You have to understand, from somebody with my perspective, someone who's not like Rob, who goes to the conventions that are far and near to him, to
sometimes more the former than the latter.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get to go to Comic-Con. Meanwhile, all I get to do is bartend for the last couple of days for Diwali celebrations.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking on social media, and I am having FOMO like a mofo because of you, because of my friends who are cosplaying at the event, because of my dude Bob who was at the event, because of other people. I got friends that were dancing around with Straw Hat Goofy, who's probably like the #1 most prominent movie reviewer in the world.
You know what?
And here I am, just like resting my bones after slinging a bunch of spicy margaritas to people. So I'm
Peyton Manning was there too.
Oh, yeah, but I wasn't able to see him early because
that made me a little jealous because I want to meet Peyton Manning.
And I was trying to go see him because
needless to say, next year, come hell or high water. In fact, come hell and high water.
Ooh.
going to
Wouldn't one kind of negate the other though? But go ahead.
Yeah.
or who I'm paying. I'm going to the damn thing. As a matter of fact, I may go to Exotica in November just to make up for this.
You should be going.
I know I'll have no presents on here.
You should be.
Well,
You should be going to Rhode Island.
I'm gonna do it.
Jeremy Ryan, go to Rhode Island.
On the road to Rhode Island.
But
That
also,
con has a big, massive lineup.
so Paramount gave us
I
this envelope.
can't because I have to be in Jersey that weekend because of the movie premiere on the 5th.
Let they brag about his merch here.
I'm not bragging. Paramount gave me this thing, which I can't reveal because it has a barcode, which is a subscription to Paramount Plus.
Okay.
I don't have Paramount Plus, so I'm using this.
Now you do.
Yeah.
Well,
If
see,
you had
Paramount
Disney, if you had Walmart Plus, you would have Paramount.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's with your
What is a
subscription.
Walmart Plus?
Walmart Plus is a subscription where, one of the things you get is Paramount Plus. You get free delivery on your groceries. You get a bunch of different things. 10 cents off your gas per gallon.
Wait. Mom,
So basically, Walmart
They're
is
trying
like
to Amazon.
Amazon Prime, but Walmart, they're pretty much partnered with Paramount.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's just one of the things. And then you get early access to Black Friday deals. It's worth the money.
I don't know. I'm waiting for Public Access Plus to become a streaming service. Bringing you the best of public access, 24/7, 365. Here's a guy eating a grapefruit in Sheboygan.
and then also they gave out these Dragon Ball Z games that's like card based. So
Okay.
That's cool. Day, did you get to meet any actors?
Yeah, but I didn't
Yes,
take
he
pictures.
did.
Wait, who did you meet?
I met
We can't play that video.
I could say High Evolutioner, the actor that plays the High Evolutioner. I met Keenan and Kel Thompson.
Nice.
And also Kid Cudi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see why. Okay, my brain processed who you met. Okay,
so it was just the
You
fact.
can't leave out Uncle Ruckus.
Oh yeah, Uncle Ruckus.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I can't post that video because God knows I'd like to. But it's like there's no way I can post.
So wait,
I can post
did
that.
you get?
You can check my Facebook and Instagram for that video, ladies. and
So
gentlemen.
you met Keaton. Did you get his autograph?
No.
Keaton Kells?
No, because when you're doing also other stuff, because I was a vendor / panelist, so it kind of was a distraction. And not only that, you want to be professional on that type of convention, because if you're going there for business, they want to feel that you're business, not, oh my God, I'm a fan.
Oh,
You're there to work.
Because some of them don't like that. That makes
they want to go ahead and give you something after they've talked with you, but it's never something that you can actually ask for if you're someone that's working the event.
Right.
But you weren't, or I guess you did panel it. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's
when I was
a job the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so it was more business aspect than hey, it was more networking business type. Like besides being a fan, mentally I'm a fan, but realistically, I gotta conduct business because guess what? I gotta make everybody in my circle look good, and that's a representation.
Right. It's different than if it was like press or something, because then with press, you can ask for this, that, and the other thing, because then it all just becomes promotional material that gets shared after the event. Sometimes right after you get it.
Well,
go online.
I would have to kind of disagree with that in a way. If you're press, you don't just ask for autographs.
No,
you can't.
Yeah.
That's why I was like,
no, you could be like, you could. Doesn't mean they have to say yes or no.
It depends.
But after the conversation you may have with them, if you get a conversation, it's been my experience, you can get
I will
a
say
few freebies from them. I mean, again, I can only speak on behalf of what I know from the point convention. But
Right.
I don't want to know what those freebies were, for the record. Yeah. Here's what I will say.
Oh, you'll find out.
New York Comic Con is different because
Yeah.
it's such a grander, bigger event. I mean, if you go to DerpyCon, or you go to something smaller like that, maybe you can swing it a little bit. But New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, that's number 2 and 1 respectively in attendance. So it's not like you have the space to walk around and do it. Dude, you're wading through human traffic.
Right.
To get, and even with a year like this past year where they had less because of the strikes and everything like that, it is still an absolutely mobbed event.
Yes.
Because again, it's New York City. No offense, this ain't Little Rock, Arkansas around there.
Are you around the crap?
Really? Yes and no. Because there's certain places that certain people didn't know about that I could cut through and avoid that.
No, I said, were you there when I heard somebody crapped on the floor?
Oh,
yeah.
Credit to Ming Chen, by the way, for that post.
Yes
and
no.
Okay.
I will say this: I was in the area.
Dang.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to let it go.
Well, they already know because
he was listening to Elsa.
It's public knowledge because there's an article that brought it up. So,
here's what I'm going to say. Dave, finish your thought, and I got one of my own.
All right. So, pretty much, I was over there trying to talk to what's his name, Shamir Moore.
Okay.
Miles Morales.
And I couldn't speak to him because he had when I say he had more of a line than everybody, even the main people.
Yeah.
He had more of a line than everybody.
Wow.
Yep, and he charges.
I don't doubt it.
And he charges a lot of money depending on what you get him to sign. What do you mean? He was doing free signatures?
He wasn't doing free, but it was reasonable. It was like $40 or $20, 40 to 80 or something.
Are you? Well, I said depending on the item. Like I know if you bring him a pair of sneakers, he wants 120 or 150.
It could be based on the location.
Based off the location.
Here's the thing: New York City. There's two groups of people. People that have been in New York City and people that don't know what it's like.
Yeah. No.
And, in this case here, the fact that someone actually literally pooped on the floor of the Javits Center surprises no one from New York. Because you literally, when you're walking through New York City, you have to wade through two kinds of feces, 4-legged and 2-legged. That's just how it kind of is. I mean, I've got stories of having, human poop under my shoe too, because it's just like New York City. But also at the same time, Manhattan.
And the stuff you'll find on the E train alone.
Oh, God. Any one of those trains, man. The A train. Dude, but the A train especially, because it goes so, such a long ride. It's 2 hours, I think, one way to the other.
Right.
But, Manhattan has 70,000 people per square mile. Baltimore has 7,000. Think about that one for a second.
Right.
When we were in Baltimore, we're like, oh, yeah, this is such a nice little suburb. It's got like 50% less per square mile than my town my town here in Lodi, New Jersey. Because my little suburb town has like 50% more per square mile than Baltimore. New York City is just like, just hold my beer.
Yeah, and he's right, because let me tell you, Rob, and to the audience, New York is not like what you think all the time. Like, oh yeah, it's glitz and glamour and everything. You do have some stuff that goes down. You have to be on your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised with my mom because my mom was going full force fast. I was like, yo, when I say
don't get got in my seat.
What did you say? What'd you say, Ryan?
I said you don't get got.
Yeah.
You heard me.
But
Rob
just said I don't know what these northern people are talking about.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm from the north. Thank you. I know what you guys are talking about.
I guess technically we all are. It's North America.
I am from Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, he is north. I ain't say that. He is from north. He's just not from the east coast.
He's not from the east side.
He's central.
Correct. He's not from the east side.
I'm not from east. I'm not from Eastern. I've always been part of Central Time, which I love that.
See? So he's not from the east side. So he don't know the trials and tribulations and the struggles.
He doesn't know New Year's at Times Square.
Yeah.
So, but for everybody to know,
As long as we don't get into a pizza conversation, we're all good, you know?
just when you see certain people, just walk
I
away.
need you to shake it off.
And that note, now we
Oh, yeah.
Okay. By the way, I'd like to nominate a drinking game.
yeah.
Every time Rob makes a reference to either A, Barbie, or B, Taylor Swift, take a shot.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Scott, you're being too loud, and I need you to calm down.
You know what? Let's just generalize it. Any prominent blonde other than himself, take a drink.
Okay. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the good stuff. We're with the Funko section of the con. And Rob, yes, I am sorry they did sell out of the Dark Magician.
You're not sorry.
No, I'm dead it. That can I say the word dead ass?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Dead ass. I'm serious. Like
You know, Rob's starting to sound like me. It's like you ain't sorry.
I was
Sorry,
actually
not
going to
sorry.
message you. That's why I was trying to see when you were there, because I was going to say if they didn't have the Dark Magician, I was going to tell you to try to get the Bugs Bunny from Hogwarts.
Oh,
But it's okay.
so the first Funko Pop I purchased, ladies and gentlemen, and for Rob, the Insidious, The Last Key.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
You said boo.
Boo.
Oh, okay. So the reason why I purchased this one was because from what somebody told me, you get a ticket so you can get another mystery Funko Pop. So that was the purpose of that.
Oh.
Yeah, so you get a mystery Funko Pop. You just had to go to one of the doors.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Did you get to meet Mike?
Michael.
The creator of Funko was there.
Is he skinny, like bald head?
I'll have to take a picture and send it to you. But yeah, he was there, the creator of Funko.
Oh. All right.
He may have been. I know he was giving out like the tickets to go to that. I know it mystery. You're talking about the gag, Grail, or Pop.
Yeah.
So what did you get?
I got a Pop, but I'm not going to reveal it yet.
Day.
Huh?
Can we maybe speed it up just a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. All right. So this one, I got a Darth Maul, Star Wars.
Who's Darth Maul? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Let's keep going.
All right. This one's Elon Spengler Spirit. Which
God, that was a heartbreak moment in that movie, man. I felt so.
Yes,
that was happy. That was
Okay.
happy tears, that scene.
Do you think that's a little too soon that they did that?
Nah, the movie's been out a couple years.
I guess what you could do with that is you could make that into a tribute piece if the other people did signings and had them all sign it.
Right. And y'all gonna freak out on this one.
All right.
Toxic Avenger.
Yay!
I noticed he was there.
He was there, but I wasn't able to meet him because I was working on them with my booth. So
because everybody, I kept seeing everybody post their Toxic Avenger sign.
I had to get him. It was worth it.
That's after season 1, though.
I know, but still, it was worth it.
That's okay. That's okay.
He's a nice guy.
Yes, he is.
Well, he's freaking Reading Rainbow.
Well, I don't know Reading Rainbow, but
what?
Well, he's before his time.
All right, these last two are rare, and when I say rare, that means they were only 1,000 that were made. These two. So I got the Bitty Pops, which is rare, and Freddy Bones.
Ha! Nice.
That'll be worth something.
That is going to be worth.
Now, is that your Grail?
No. The last thing that was a Grail for me was Snakeface. 2000 and from
I know the figure. I never owned it though.
So from what
I had a bunch of the other Snake Men.
Yeah, somebody told me to get that was a good pick, especially it's a New York Comic-Con one. It was worth it.
That's a deep cut.
What? That? What?
Yeah, because I mean, he's not even like one of the prominent Snake people. He was like, I don't even think he made it to the television.
But just to have him is still a big thing. So overall, that was my Funko collection.
So
So they had good collection. There were others, but they weren't what I wanted. So I got what I wanted based upon certain things. But there will be other reviews of other stuff that I got. It's just that we're probably going to go to another segment, ladies and gentlemen, because there's stuff that I got for free.
Okay.
That I'm probably going to get out my drawer.
What you always could do is you could make a recap video, and we probably could post it on the channel.
Could do that.
No, it's not that much because it's just when I go over there, go over to the other side and grab it. It's a quick in and out.
Okay.
So I was just showing everybody the Funkos.
Dude, you had a good haul, man. You had a good haul.
Yeah.
So, and I did show everybody the apron and everything, and on 2 medals I won in the video game tournament. First place. That's something I never accomplished, to be honest with you.
Good job, man. Proud of you.
So
yay. So all right.
Come on, everybody.
Yay.
That's okay.
So all right. Well, speaking of just you,
I'm going to go put this stuff away and give you the other stuff. So
okay. I mean, in this case, we're going to go over to creatures. Ryan, your department, sir. Oh, nice.
Yes. You know what? That is a perfect mask for tonight's conversation. I will give you that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what picture you were going to start with, so I figured to start with that one.
Yeah, so for this week's October session, Thrills and Chills, we are going away from some of the more classics that we've talked about already with vampires and werewolves, and we're talking creatures. Not necessarily monsters, because monsters can be both. We're talking strictly about the things that are not of the mortal realm, things that are creepy, kooky, mysterious, and spooky. We are talking about aliens. We are talking beasts of genetic mutation. We're talking things of yesteryear in lore. We're talking things that just look gnarly. Like Rob at the moment. Although, yes, the gremlins are a perfect example of what I mean by creature. I mean, yes, it can be humanoid or bipedal in nature, but let's face it, just its overall genetic makeup, its visage, its way of being, its way of evolving is just something ridiculously terrifying, even if they are just small in stature and kind of cute to an extent. And yes, Tyler, the classic aliens, the xenomorphs, another perfect example of a creature. Yeah. More of a sci-fi end rather than any kind of mystic. But again, just the fact that it can go ahead of whatever creature it pops out of, the acid blood, the mouth that comes out of the other mouth. It's like, it's freaky, man. So what I want to go with you guys is, what is your favorite creature? Not necessarily creature movie, because some of them have series, some of them may just be one-off, some of them just maybe in lore and mythology. What is your favorite creature?
Would it be, can I say, can it be one of the creatures that we could talk about as well?
Pennywise? You mean Pennywise?
Yeah, Pennywise.
Really, well, we kind of covered Pennywise last week, but it's not really it's an alien, but not like
it is an alien, so therefore like it's a creature.
Yes. So by definition, the creature that is Pennywise and his true embodiment and everything, that could be a creature.
Okay.
In fact, I would go as far as to say not just Pennywise, but also the killer clowns from outer space.
Oh yeah,
are creatures.
Yes.
Knock my block off.
And Mary Poppins.
Yeah, not necessarily saying clowns in general, because we can get to that in 2 weeks when we talk slashers, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself.
I've got a creature.
But yeah, anything that's just abnormal would definitely.
So yes, Predator does count as a
That was
creature.
great one. Not a horror movie, but actually a good creature.
Absolutely.
Well, see, if the funny thing about Predator, I was watching Predator.
Well, that's whereas vampires and werewolves have kind of like traditionally stayed in the horror realm, creatures can vie into horror and sci-fi. It's just a matter of what you think is like a normal being,
Mhm.
and then taking that and just like messing with it. Anything abnormal, anything beyond the concept of human idea would certainly be freaky.
Well, that was actually created.
And that's the beautiful thing about creatures. They can run a wide gambit.
Well, that was actually created by Stan Winston, because the original one was made with Jean-Claude Van Damme, who quit because he was like, screw this, and then this was created. I forget the exact story. I think James Cameron drew it, or he drew it, and then one said to the other, give it like teeth and fangs to make it unique that way, and that's where you get that iconic look the whole way through. But apparently, it was a production hell to make this movie.
And even because of that, I mean, outside of the weaponry and everything that it uses, it is, in a sense, superhuman, or beyond human comprehension.
Right.
Because it has some jumps, man.
Yeah.
Like put them on a b-ball court. Predator can get that.
But wait for it. I'm sure they'll do a Predator movie.
I got another creature to mention.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Another one I'd want to point out, because I think it's obvious, even though they're considered more monsters.
Hey, don't be
kaijus.
What?
Huh?
No. I'm talking kaijus like Godzilla, Mothra, King Kong, Rodan, King Ghidorah, Gamera the turtle. All those things are creatures. They're just so large and like otherworldly, taking up a whole planet sometimes.
I thought you were going to take mine. Don't be taking mine yet. And Day, you've already said one, so it's Scott's turn.
I'm going to say another one. I can say whatever. I want to say whatever I want. Okay. So first off,
you're supposed to go around and say one of our favorite creatures.
I'm saying others. I said, does it count? That doesn't mean that was my first. Now, if you want to really talk about creatures, we could talk about Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
Good. You didn't steal mine yet.
And then Tyler with the Critters cut.
Yep.
I can't believe Critters has had so many movies that it has. Even got its own TV series. Ridiculous.
Well, milk the franchise.
Though, yes, Critters can be cute and cuddly in some aspects.
And what I just showed Toxic Avenger.
Oh, yeah. Although he wasn't really a creature. Well, I guess he was. He's more of a mutation,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Toxic Avenger would definitely count. It's only for the simple fact that because of the mutation, he excels past humanity. So his strength, his look and everything, it's not normal.
By the way, Rob just asked me my favorite, and because the main lead's birthday is today, let's go that way.
The Trolls 2 Goblins?
The Trolls Nilbog Goblins.
Nilbog.
It's goblins spelled backwards. This is their kingdom.
These are... The sad thing is, when you compare this to the original creature in Troll, with the ring and everything, these things look like cheap porno bootleg knockoffs of that character. Wow. These are some of the worst looking things. Ewoks have more care in their makeup and everything than that thing. Look at that thing. That looks legitimately intimidating.
No,
all right,
I
it
would
looks like
hug
a little
that thing.
That's gonna like crawl up your balls and like grab it. That looks like Cloud in a mask. Yeah. All right, that is terrible.
Well, I mean, well, George Hardy is 69 today. He was the dad in that movie. He still gets appearances.
Green slop eating and everything, and not liking meat. Oh,
yeah, bologna. Yeah, they get undone by literally a bologna sandwich.
Yeah, basically. They're the worst. Like, I want to believe all vegetarians are like these people. All right.
Well, see, what's funny is actually that movie was written to combat vegetarianism. That was the idea.
Oh,
that's actually why it was written. It was an anti-vegetarian movie.
Right. So Tyler, I agree with you on that because I'm a huge Slaw fan, and I think this was their best one yet because they actually have a story.
It was definitely good. It's a shame we probably won't be able to get too many more like it, considering. But
now, Rob,
I know you're non-horror.
I was told
No,
the
no.
movie's a 7 out of 10 by almost everybody I've talked to.
Well, you
So
know,
to
you
hear
go
that
into
it's
it, you know what you're
Okay,
gonna do.
okay, but
So to
the
hear
doll
that
does
it's
not
the
count.
best
Doll is
one.
like a whole different thing. That
You think
doll does not count because that doll is pretty much just a figurehead for the real
Correct.
killer.
I'm just trying to think. There are other movies that had creatures, whether it was in a horror aspect. So are we talking about just horror creatures or just creatures
I
that
feel like horror creatures.
It's
Okay.
Rob's turn.
All right, go for
And
it.
my favorite creature, which is technically a monster, but he is a creature, is Creature the Lagoon.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
see, that's a classic. The Gill
That's-
Man.
yeah. I
Creature of
cried
the
at the end of that
That
movie.
is classic. Yes.
I underestimated Rob on that because I did not.
That's a good one. Yeah, you know what? I was expecting something cute, cuddly, and funny.
That is a throwback
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't even think about nowadays.
I
And,
cried at the end of that movie the first time when they killed him.
I was gonna bring it out, but I don't know where it is. I actually have a signed card by he just passed away, I think last year, but the person that was actually in the Creature of the Lagoon suit under the water and stuff.
Okay.
My friend got me his autograph at a con.
Nice.
So, but yes, Creature of the Lagoon is
that's the thing. It's like
that's why
Creature Lagoon is a great.
Yeah.
like I
pick, only
said, he's
because
technically
he
considered.
gets so forgotten.
Sorry, he's considered technically the monsters universe, but he is a creature, so that's why.
It all counts. Oh, dude, that 100% counts.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, when it comes to like the Gill Man and everything, the only thing we've seen of him recently is Guillermo del Toro having a sexy Gill Man with a woman that falls in love with him. So, to each their own.
Right. And yes, the creatures from Cloverfield, definitely.
And yeah, Cloverfield monster. That's a kaiju. That's a big giant creature that no one can explain.
What's another good creature?
Now, I'd love to see that thing go up against Godzilla.
Trying to think of another creature.
I have another one.
Well, I'll give you another one, and maybe this will help a little bit. Again, staying in the realm of like it being something beyond the ideas of what humans can do. Frankenstein's monster is, in a sense, a creature.
Yeah.
It is a reanimated amalgamation of bodies stitched together, neck bolts, green skin, whatever have you, whatever classic version you like.
I got to go with Karloff.
It's not really a human.
I agree with you. Now, okay, something just came up. The Thing.
Yes. Watch the skies.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep looking. Yeah. Now, original or 80s version?
80s version.
I have to go with the original because that's the one that scared me as a kid.
Yeah, but the 80s version just gives so much more ideas about like what a being can be capable of doing. Oh yeah, that is a good Gill Man.
There's
I
my
like it, I
Creature
like it.
Lagoon. And what was cool is the guy had universal packs. And the guy was at the con and just random packs. He opens up the pack and he pulled the Creature Lagoon. I was like, yo, can you go get that signed? And he did.
Now, let me ask you this question. Ryan, this is more for you. Them. From the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you're basically taking something that is beyond the idea of human comparison, which for this would just be like an ant, and you are messing
This
with
scene
it.
right
You're
here,
giving
again.
it properties that it should not
So,
have. You're giving it size.
So
it should
would
not.
this count?
Like, it's basically in the realm of kaiju.
My father tormented me royally. No, it does
No,
not.
because it's not horror.
No, it's not horror.
But it's a creature.
But it's
But
not
it's
horror.
not horror.
Dude, it's Halloween, man. Yeah.
I mean, yes. Okay, yeah, Rob, by a very slim margin. Those creatures. In fact, I will tell you this. The Michael Bay ones scared the heck out of me. Because they look awful.
Except for the elevator scene. That was always fun.
Yeah.
But in this case here, and this is
Okay, but still,
this
not
is
great.
this is bringing back points in my mind because I was raised on so many like black and white horror movies like Them, Creature from the Black Lagoon, all of the, good, bad, and ugly in this case. This one here, in this scene specifically, because those pincers are about to wrap around that guy and pull him away. As a kid, that terrified me as a 7-year-old. And it really kind of wonder why I was exposed to so many bad, black and white horror movies as a kid.
Right.
If you want some good creatures, just watch Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I'm going to let the audience know I was a kid that had a fear of this one of these creatures. And it was from a love horror movie, a love story horror movie, but it's not really a horror movie. It was more of a love story. Ghosts with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, you mean the Jit Love scene at the end?
Yeah, but there were a creature that came out and they would take the ghosts back to hell. So it was like they call these the booger.
Okay, we'll have to stop you there on that one day.
Yeah.
That technically would not count. Simply because they don't necessarily have a physical body. They're more ethereal. So they would be more in the realm of ghosts and spirits rather than creatures. Now, if you want to bring that up next week when we talk about ghosts, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. But for this, we're talking about things of physical embodiment, physically imposed that you can see
the villains
during
from
the
Courage. With the villains from Courage the Cowardly Dog count, they're horror.
No, they do not.
No. Now I will.
I'm going to give you homework for next week. I think.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will say this: the movie The Blob.
Okay.
Yes, The Blob is a creep, and even more so than The Blob, The Stuff.
Yes.
Can you explain to me why the villains from Courage that are very creepy and that give people nightmares don't count as creatures?
Because it's not for starters, it's not a movie.
Yeah.
Well, so we're only talking about movies.
Yes. Yes.
You know what it is? Here's the thing. Let me ask you this: did Courage the Cowardly Dog freak you out as a child?
No.
The show, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, some of those, and I'll tell you, him from the Powerpuff Girls was the creepiest Cartoon Network.
Him, I can get behind him a little bit on that.
Yeah, because he was pretty much a reference of.
Here's the thing: if you were a little kid, yes, I could see it. This is where I forget sometimes.
Well,
you are like 20 years younger than me.
Well, no, yes, that is the difference too. But I will tell you, I met Courage at Memphis real quick, and I told him, I said, sorry, there's one villain that competes with Courage, and he said, what's that? And I said, him from the Powerpuff Girls. He's like, can you show me a clipping? I found a clipping. He listens to it and said, what the fudge? And he's like, yeah, I'll agree with you on that. But yes, even to this day, him creeps me out.
Okay, fair.
And the thing about it was the reason why it creeped. Oh yeah, The Fly.
It's the voice that creeps me out.
Yes.
Yep.
But let me tell you why it creeps people out, because he switches his voice.
Yes.
Sounds sweet, and then sounds like a dark, sinister person. So it constantly is like
I couldn't deal with the anyways, but yes, so that would be
I'm starting to wonder who has more tolerance for scary thing, Rob or Scott.
I'm okay with. I can watch something horror and be okay. I just can't watch him from the Powerpuff Girls.
You know what it is? Here's the thing: it depends on the horror. The Ring, I love The Ring because I love how everything fell together, all the pieces of it. I don't do well with entrapment, and that's where things like Final Destination were tougher for me.
That does bring up another creature that I think probably a lot of people wouldn't think about. But considering Tyler, giant space bugs, absolutely. Yes, always. But something that didn't come up, but I did put it in the bumper for this week's talk. Zombies, I would say, are creatures.
Why? They're
zombies
humans.
can be their own franchise, though. Yeah.
The thing about that is that zombies don't really have any being. They're pretty much more just shambling husks that want to eat flesh and yet are never satisfied. They don't necessarily have any forethought. They don't have any kind of language skills. And really anything can be a zombie. Anything that's living can become a zombie, can turn into that creature through decay, which is another form of metamorphosis. So,
Mhm.
so in that sense, any kind of zombie you see is less of just a human being and more of just a not necessarily a vampire, but certainly a walking bloodsucker.
I mean, but not every zombie is a dumb zombie.
Okay, Rob, I'm going to
'Cause-
explain.
How many smart zombies do you know?
No, I was saying
Wasn't
like
there
you
one
have
movie
the
where the zombies ran real fast?
I was gonna say you have the show
World War
iZombie.
Z.
Was that what World War Z? You know, where they basically they got to the other side of the water and like all the zombies on that side started running at them at the end of the movie.
Yeah. But or you got shows like iZombie.
Well, I mean,
where-
just because they were running fast doesn't mean anything like that. And certainly, if it's based upon infection rather than anything superstitious,
Right.
there is still essentially a genetic mutation in the body.
Right.
You know, iZombie, I think we can argue that one too.
I mean, still, I know it's not a movie. I know it's a show, but she is a zombie, and she can still talk regularly. She eats the brains, and she gets the memories of the other people
People
and the abilities.
People who eat people.
What was that other movie that
Well, here's the thing. Walking Dead, I would agree, yes. iZombie, it's a little bit different because the condition can be switched back. It's got more of a vampirism sort of
correct.
thing. Believe me, I love
I do
iZombie.
too.
I watched every single season.
Her and the main the people are going to be at Rhode Island next month.
Okay.
So that'll be good.
Oh, Roy?
No,
Also doing all the Franklin horror stuff. He's in Fall of the House of Usher right now.
the boss.
Also, Army of the Dead. So it could have been Army of the Dead
Okay.
because
Army
they
of
were
the
more.
Dead, Day of the Dead, Headrunners, Land of the Dead.
It was like
that
20,
they
it was like 20 years ago.
people-
During that era where they were doing zombie movies out the wazoo, like 20 years ago.
Yeah. No, there were so many zombie things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would absolutely say zombies fall in that region. Just because they happen to be using a human body for the majority of their existence does not necessarily mean that they are human themselves.
Correct.
Now,
And that's why I'm saying creatures span a wide net as to what really incorporates in their name.
I'm going to throw
Now,
one
does
out
anybody
there.
have a creature that I might have left out?
What's that?
Does anybody have any kind of creature that I might have left
I
out?
have one. Can we give me this one?
Go ahead.
Can
Yes.
anyone name this one?
Well, it's definitely a kaiju, but
It's a turkey, isn't
it
it?
looks like a giant.
This is a movie from, again, the era of bad, horror movies called The Giant Claw. And it was a
Looks like
movie
Linux.
which originally Roger Corman was supposed to do the special effects and everything for. But they decided to kind of go with, shall we say, a less expensive option. So the actors had to film, the actors had no idea what this thing looked like. And they ran their lines, and they actually did a really decent job without knowing what it was going to look like. Then they get to the theater, and then they see this thing. And they look at this thing, and they see the audience laughing, and they kind of just sit there and just, they just kind of looked at it, and the main lead went home, and he got blitz drunk and passed out.
Speaking of creatures, we didn't mention the leprechaun.
We could, yeah.
Would that count?
Why wouldn't he?
By the way, if you ever want to get a review on this, James
No,
wrote a Cinemaster to get a review of that.
Leprechaun would count.
It does count.
The
The
Bull-
Bob-
It would count because Babadook would count as well, I believe, because it's not really a ghost, is it? It's more of like a boogeyman sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the leprechaun, and then I was thinking Krampus would also count, right? Or am I wrong on that?
That would work. I give it.
Yeah. Or the creatures from the Quiet Place.
Yes. Krampus isn't exactly like Santa. He's just like he's probably more of like
He's
a
anti-Santa.
demon type creature. So So I'd go with it.
Or the Species character from that movie Species.
Oh, the sexy alien? Yeah, no, Species counts. Yes.
Yeah, that was
the one that kills all the people it tries to breed with.
Yeah.
Or technically Men in Black, right?
Well, that had a lot of creatures in it.
Yeah.
Because again, Stan Winston, by the way.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, practically every single alien you see in Men in Black, definitely.
The movie that started the career, the movie that absolutely 100% launched the career of Will Smith.
Before we mention Will Smith, before we mention, we forgot to mention V. V would count as creatures.
Oh yes. Oh
yeah.
Yes. By the way, extra points if you can give me the horror star that got his start from the V series.
Robert Englund.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Englund.
Yes. Robert Englund got his start from the original V series.
Yes.
Which, by the way, the reboot series from like 2009, 2010 was fantastic. Yeah. But just like Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, ended on a cliffhanger after 2 seasons when the show got canceled.
Yep.
It pissed me off.
Same thing with the reboot, I think.
Because the reboot ended in a cliffhanger also. And it's like, dude.
Like it was like, why did you cancel the Sarah Connor? It was such a good
Sarah Connor Chronicles was fantastic. I mean,
well,
they're running reruns of it now, but
wasn't that all during the first writer's strike?
No, actually, it started after that.
Isn't that also why Heroes got messed up?
It started after that, but it was canceled for low ratings and high budget. Because it was easier for Fox to have have more American Idol or whatever.
So speaking of get your wife's name out of my mouth, our next subject is Will Smith and Jada Smith.
Yes. Or Ryan, I'm going to let you roll with this because this was your idea.
Yeah. Everybody thought it was me. It wasn't my idea.
That just looks like an angry woman.
Yeah, no. I hate to take over two, talks at the same time, but yeah. Jada, damn this woman. Now I want everyone to know that if I do go into any kind of rant on Jada Pinkett Smith,
oh boy,
it is not because of her medical conditions. It is not because of anything that has to necessarily do with the slap when Will Smith and everything. It more has to do with the fact, in my mind, and I think in the mind of many other people, Jada is going to do what Jada wants to do for attention. Now, she has this memoir coming up, which is called Worthy, which I think is a funny title considering who she is. Now, she went ahead and let go of a lot of tea concerning her and Will's relationship, that they've been separated ever since 2016, that she had no idea what was going on with the whole slap at the Oscars. She thought it was part of a skit. So it's not like she knew why Will went up there or anything like that. She said her and Will were not together when she was with August. And here's the thing. We've seen Hollywood couples before. We've seen, couples like Brad Pitt and Angelina. We've seen ones like Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, who are still together. God bless them. Mm-hmm. And with being a couple, there always runs the risk of, certain private things being leaked out to the public. Mm-hmm. It's one thing if it gets leaked out. It's another thing when your whole ass spouse is just going off and dragging your name through her drama so she can go ahead and sell her goddamn book that no one's really gonna read. And pretty much just I'm really trying not to get upset by this because I feel so bad for Will.
Can I help you with that, Ryan?
Yes, please. Give me a break.
I'm just going to say this. We know her agenda. Her agenda is trying to draw attention to her. because maybe she feels as though she's in the shadow of Will and there's not enough attention for Jada. But at the same time, if you want to pretty much bring the attention to you, besides hurting your partner, why don't you partner with your partner? That's what a relationship is. It's not a I'm better than you better. No, it's supposed to be in a joint agreement, a joint thing. When you got married to an actor and you're an actor, matter of fact, put it like this: you got married to an entertainer and you're an entertainer. Y'all supposed to be collabing y'all butts off, not slicing each other limb for limb, talking about what's going on in the bedroom, talking about what's going on in your household, talking about how your kids feel about one another. That's not our focus. Yes, you'll get publicity. Yes, you're going to get this. But guess what? It's going to make your image worse. It's going to make his image worse. It's going to make people feel like, oh, y'all not a perfect couple. Do you want that
Well,
to
it's
be?
not beyond the perfect couple thing, Dave.
It's not.
It's
Yeah,
the
you're
simple
right. It's
fact
not
that one side spilling all this, Will ain't saying a damn thing.
right.
Will's practically just staying quiet through the whole thing.
His
Like,
exact words were notifications
if
off.
he's not saying anything and not and arguably, yeah, well, although that's the thing, he's had a little post where he had his notifications off on it and he just texts smiling because he just doesn't want to get involved in this stuff.
Right.
Um
But
just a thing here from the rap talking to Pinkett Smith about her press tour for the book said, "I told you it was going to be a rough start." How about you not
But
make it a rough
that's no
start to begin with?
let Scott say something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, how do I start this? Boy, oh boy. In certain marriages, if you have people that perhaps have some kind of a narcissistic or mental illness or something like that, and I'm not saying she does, but I'm also not saying she doesn't. You guys know my story. No, hear me out.
It's
You guys know that, I was my first wife was very similar to this in a lot of different ways.
mhm.
And they believe that nothing is their fault, that everything is the fault of someone else, not them. And their actions are made by someone else. So in my case, my wife trying to push me down flights of stairs was my fault. Had I been a better person, that wouldn't have happened. She would not have punished me by making me sleep in my car in the middle of January, or starve me or any of those things. Because at the end of the day, in her mind, it was my fault. When we got unmarried 14 years ago, even basically after I was in debt for 5-figure settlement because I lost the court case, she still said, and I quote, "You deserve some of the beatings I gave you." This is giving me some massive not day, but past day, is giving me some massive reminders of what I went through because I see the similarity. And you know what? I can guarantee I am not alone there. There's a lot of people that are like, you know what? I've seen this too, and I've lived this too.
And I'm gonna also add this. There's women out here that play the victim, but then actually is the victimizer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not saying men are not at fault at times, but we can't play the fiddle and say, "Oh, women are wholesome, women are this." No, it's a two-way street. Both parties can do damage, and it's all, huh?
I learned this from the Mel Robbins show a few years ago when I was on it.
Mhm.
1 out of 7 men will statistically experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Not discounting the 1 out of 4 women. I'm not already discarding it.
Right.
But 1 out of 7 men. And like I said, I'm seeing signs here that I remember, and I see similarities that I remember. Go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, when it comes to the situation, which I love how it's being brought up 7 years later,
It happens.
is, when this all happened, everybody was putting down Will and stuff. You can't tell me that Will's not in some kind of abusive at the time, because he was laughing. It was all good until and you even saw on camera the look she gave. When she gave the look, his smile went off his face, and that's when he did something. And there's been theories. Nothing
I
has been
saw it back
obviously.
then. I recognized it back then.
There's been theories. It hasn't obviously been confirmed because Will Smith. I'm sorry. Will Smith never, he doesn't talk about his feelings and stuff or makes big public things like Jada does. But you could tell that, and I was watching a lot of videos at the time that if Will didn't do what he did, he may have been beat or something when he got home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I saw comments saying, "Oh, Will deserves to lose his entire career, and I'm sorry anyone that's team Will not to be in the Oscars, but I don't think he should have lost not being able to go back. And then the people that said his reward should have been taken away. No, I mean he's a phenomenal actor. We all have our moments and stuff, and that's why someone's not going to do something drastic like that unless there could have been consequences for him not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, like you said, she's on a book tour. So what's the best thing to do about a book tour? Start throwing stuff at Will Smith. Will Smith. That way, then buzz, and now her book will just try to sell. Because, like you said, when I saw the article saying they've been separated since 2016, one that was 7 years ago, and I just love how that coincidentally just works for her right now.
And it's just, this is a toxic relationship, and it's it's showing it.
Mm-hmm.
Before you ain't see these problems until now. And maybe it's a sign that they need to break off. And I'm being real because your mental health and I'm going to say this like this. Will, your mental health is most important. If you have to break away from her, break away from her. There's other women that's out here that
but the kids are involved. You got to be careful. You got to protect them a little bit. I never had that problem, but that's something a lot of abused people, men or women alike, doesn't matter, think about the kids as well. And even to a degree, the reputation. You worry about the reputation hit as well.
Right. But look at it this way. Those kids are grown.
Doesn't matter. You still want to protect your kids.
Yeah. I will say,
trust me when I say I know that one a little more than I let on.
Right. The thing of it is, and I'm just speculating here, the only reason there hasn't been a divorce is because I don't know if Will Smith is, I don't want to say strong enough, but given his compass, his moral compass, you can see it in the work he's done. You can see it in the person he is, more philanthropic ventures, more charitable ventures. I don't know if he's necessarily the kind of man to go through divorce, given his upbringing and everything.
It doesn't matter how. Go ahead.
Because regardless of what you want to say about their individual careers, Jada has benefited from Will Smith's career more so than the kids have, more so than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So would you really go ahead and divorce that and lose some of that gravy train? Probably not.
Now, to be honest, if Will, or if they ever did get divorced, it would probably turn out where she gets most of the stuff,
right?
Or what happened to Brendan Fraser when Brendan Fraser divorced, when he got a divorce with his wife, he ended up having to pay like $100 million or whatever a year. And that made him go in debt. Thankfully, now, since his career, it's now went back up, and he won the Oscar last year. But I could see the same thing happen in Will Smith, because Jada would be the type to take the house and take most of the money and leave Will with nothing.
Well, the good news is the lawyer would probably take most of it.
And right
now,
my
ex-wife's lawyer takes most of it.
One that is essentially from Jada's action. All right. Will Smith is the one whose name is getting dragged, by Jada. Will's not saying anything about Jada, but Jada's saying stuff about Will. Will's the one who went ahead and is from. So regardless of whether or not he wins an award, he cannot be there to get the gratification for his hard work because he was spurred on one way or another by her. He's had films that have done poorly. He has had films that were in production that got canceled, all because he was spurred on to do this for a woman who outright has acknowledged her entanglements with other people while they have been together. Or as she says, they weren't together, even though they're still married. Now, sanctity of marriage being what it is, I don't have any opinion on that. But you know what? If Will was cheating, he sure as hell didn't tell anybody. He sure as hell didn't acknowledge anybody. So why the hell does Jada feel like she can do it too?
But you know what's funny about this? Is that Twitter is very pro Will Smith right now.
Right.
A lot of them are anti-Jada, and seeing her as using this as a PR stunt more than anything else. Twitter has really come to his defense.
And that's a good thing because it's starting to show what certain men, and I'm not defending all, like I'm just basically saying certain men are going through. It's opening the door to basically show what you've been through, Scott, and what
from personal experience. Holy shit, did it take a long time for that to come around?
I know.
How many years did I get from people like, well, you deserve it because you're a guy?
Look at what's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Amber Heard, who's in Aquaman too.
Yeah.
And
it's like
supposedly the only reason why she was allowed to be on the second one is because Elon Musk threatened to sue. That was the recent report.
I know. Well, apparently Jason Momoa tried to get her fired.
And Elon Musk stepped in and said he would sue the company or something. But she's not allowed at the premiere.
okay.
Could I mention my quick thing?
But yeah, basically, is there any? Is it on Will and Jada or something else?
Something else
after this.
Okay. Yeah. Anything? I was like, yeah. I don't know.
Yes, Tyler. Oh my God.
Well, Rob, we'll get
Tyler
to it.
with the
Not the
internet.
NCF.
That.
All right. Oh wait. Sorry.
So, but yeah. I mean, in this case here, we'll see what happens when this thing comes. Comes to term. I think it's going to fade away just as fast as it showed up. If you ask my opinion on this, and I think a lot of Jada's cred, if they ever did get legit divorced, all this kind of stuff, I think a lot of Jada's cred's going to go by the wayside, and Will's going to be fine because he's friggin' Will Smith.
Yeah.
So
he's the first Prince of Bel-Air.
It's Mr. 4th of July.
So
he has worked up. He has worked up enough of a career and enough goodwill that even if it takes him like a couple of years out of the limelight, he can come back.
Dude,
Jada, on the other hand, she's had a lot of her, but I feel like without the attachment to Will Smith, Jada would have to do something egregious in order for people to care again.
But all right, for Rob in this case, because he really wants to go into this.
Yeah.
He's aching for this one.
So how did she do for the weekend?
There we go.
Open to 96 million.
Yes, right here, by the way.
29th
at 123 million. It is just a hair behind Blue Beetle, which will probably break that this week.
So it's probably going to pass Scream.
It'll pass Scream. It probably will pass Dungeons and Dragons, I think.
Mm-hmm.
By second weekend.
I think you think it'll probably be Flash, I think, though.
But like I tell,
because it made 126 million first weekend, I don't know. I think you could get to top 10 by the end of it.
And
top 10? Top 10.
Well, we didn't think it would. We Scott did predict that it would double its money on the first day. He was right on that. Basically, he said 39 million, or he said 40, but made 39. So basically doubled its money first day. It would have to make basically 500,000. Or 500 million. Sorry,
Well,
I don't see
500 million would get it to number 8 right here, but past just a hair past Elemental. You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's a puncher's chance because a lot of the Swifties will probably go back a few weekends in a row to see it.
Yeah.
So it's not just a one and done.
Yeah,
like
but that's the thing. You'd have to rely clearly on domestic because it's not really playing like that overseas.
No, because she's not a big name. I mean, she's no Billie Piper, she's no Kylie Minogue.
Yeah.
So
now, from a person that actually saw the movie, I will say it was a lot better. It was like basically if you were watching the Super Bowl halftime show, but an entire concert. And what I mean by that is that even when you watch the movie, it like how the Super Bowl does every time, it shows the dome and then goes inside. The exact same way this movie was, and it even at the end exits out. Like, and if anyone's wondering what concert this was the LA conference thing. It was her last tour for the tour. There was over 420,000 people at that specific concert. And you can see because it helped everybody having like their lights and stuff because it was, like I said, I had a fun time. Now my theater was not crazy, but I also went to a 12 o'clock on a Saturday. There was about 20 people. So the Saturday first one was not that busy. So it wasn't like crazy event. Yes, I sang a little bit, but there wasn't really any singing, but I made sure not to do it too loud to not disrespect the other people. But Taylor did say to treat this like a concert.
Okay.
And when I'm paying $20, I'm going to try to get my money's worth a little bit, And yes, Rob did get the cup because, why not? And then for anyone that buys a ticket, you will get this little poster right here, which is basically that picture that's
that is going right up on Rob's ceiling.
Yeah, none of us are going, oh, wow. No.
Hey,
I'm just looking at
when
Taylor
Rob
Swift,
sends this to the fan mail address and it comes back signed, we'll see who goes, woo. No,
dude, if you get that thing signed, you hold on to that. I don't care if you're a Swiftie or not. That's
for sure.
Exactly.
And I don't even care if she personalizes it. I think that'd be cool just for the fact. And like I said, it was a good experience. It was, and I know why these three don't relate to, or don't like Taylor too, because I thought of something. You guys are a lot older than me.
Debbie Gibson, Electric
Whoa, hold on.
Those are fighting words.
Hold on. Now, I have nothing against Taylor Swift. I don't. All right? She is a phenomenal performer. She's very charismatic. And yes, maybe to certain people she's attractive. Her eyes are too squinty for me. But
no,
it has nothing to do with the fact that it has everything to do that when it comes to girly-oriented pop music, that ain't my vibe. But I am more likely to probably go to the Beyonce movie than I would to the Taylor Swift movie if I didn't have to worry. I would have gone Sunday, but you got to it before me, and I give you credit for that.
I know. No, I get that. No, but what I was trying to say is I was 9 years old when she started her career. So I grew up with her music. And why I like this is called the Eras Tour. So she did original songs from 2006. She did a lot of her older stuff. I don't know a lot of her newer stuff, but, I grew up with a lot of her older stuff. So it was nice hearing those throwbacks and stuff. And that's why I like this. She even says, I guess, spoiler alerts, even though it's not technically spoilers, because this you probably can find on YouTube, to be honest, because all you got to do is look up the concert. Her big conception of doing this is a fan asked her one day, you missed 4 different tours because she usually does a tour for every album. And she says, what are you going to do? Just do a concert and it'd be like 3 hours long and make that your tour? And she said, yeah. So
expect other groups and other bands to follow suit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And also, in this case here, as Hollywood continues to do its Hollywood thing, we'll include SAG into this too. You could see a lot more, artists going in this direction because it's a quick, easy editing job of something that was already done. And it's an easy turnaround. Will it make the money Taylor Swift made? No. But will it be an easy cash grab? Basically for a Bruno Mars concert or Drake? Yeah. They'll probably do okay.
Yeah. because I really think once Beyonce movie comes out, that's going to start making it to the top 5. To be honest,
Wait, there's a Beyonce movie.
From what they're saying, yeah.
Gold member.
Like the same style.
This is like the first time this has ever been done. I know Metallica has put stuff in theaters. BTS has put
that
stuff
was
in theaters.
good. That was good. Because the way they did it, they told a story while having a concert, and that was phenomenal. The way the art, screenshots, the special effects in that film, bro, that was a really good concert / movie.
Now I have one quick shout out because I know we're about to end this. Quick shout out if you guys are in the Lexington area at all, Lexington, Kentucky, or even nearby, there is a convention this coming up weekend. We are doing press for that. It's called Scarefest. It's a horror convention. It's happening this coming up weekend. There are still tickets available on Friday. I think the Saturday sold out, but there's still tickets for Friday. If you're in the area and can go, you should definitely go. But that is the shout out for them. Scarefest this coming up weekend. Yes. The 20th through the 22nd. You got people like the deputy from Scream's gonna be there. You got Richard Dreyfuss is gonna be there. You got one of the guys that was in the original Scream suit. You got all kinds of different people there. You got the head from Maximum Overdrive. That's a great movie.
Oh, the Green Goblin head?
Stuff. Yeah, the Green Goblin head. Yes. And you got one of the original actresses from that. So, yeah, it's going to be a really fun convention, and we're doing press. So, hopefully, we'll be able to interview some of these people. And you got Kane Hodder there. I mean, there's all kinds of different people. So, yeah.
Nice. I will do what I can to edit and work with that. Wednesday until Sunday. I'm going to be out in Arizona because
you leave Wednesday.
Leaving Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. at the house here. Coming back Sunday morning.
So I will try to talk to you tomorrow then.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you and I are going to talk tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
Because we're covering as press again the National Synchronized Swim Competition, which was in Maine last year, Arizona this year, and my wife Robin is competing for the first time, and frankly nervous as tits. So nervous as shit right now. So sorry, I have a denture in my mouth. It causes me to talk funny. So anyway, yeah. So she's a little bit nervous at this point. So we're going to give her some support, some props.
Yes.
It'll be okay. She's going up to NYCFC tomorrow. Talk to some of the players, kind of calm down the nerves a little bit that way. Understand what it's like to be nervous on this, and we'll see what we can do. So,
right.
Yes. Awesome. So, all right, guys. Well, my name's Robert.
My name is Day.
That's Ryan. Or no, that's Scott, and that's Ryan. And this is Tales from the Film Set.